Hey everybody and welcome back to A Better Computer. My name is Matt and today I wanted to talk about launchers. So if you want to launch things on your Mac, you can use Spotlight. Spotlight is built into macOS out of the box, and in Tahoe it got an update to get some more functionality. It can run shortcuts for you. It has a clipboard manager built in. It's pretty decent, and for a lot of people, it's fine. But if you're a power user like me, and maybe you may want to do more. You may want something with more flexibility. You may want something faster than Spotlight. So there's options. If you're really old school, there's LaunchBar. LaunchBar has been around forever and has basically been a launcher that has a bunch of stuff built in, tons of features, tons of stuff you can do with this, right? Then, if you're a little less old school, there's Alfred. Alfred has also been around forever. I bought like the Lifetime Power Pack years ago. I really loved Alfred. I still like Alfred. And you can see there's a million things in it. And the new school kind of current king of launchers is Raycast, which is also awesome and has a million freaking features. So, I think these are all good. To be clear, I think Spotlight is totally fine for the average person. I think LaunchBar is not for me, but I think that is clearly something that a lot of people love. Alfred, also, I've kind of moved on from what Alfred does, but it's absolutely awesome, especially if you want file system access. I think Alfred is still better than Raycast there. And then Raycast has just been king of the world for a long time, does a ton of stuff. But today I'm introducing a new app. I'm not introducing a new app. I'm introducing you to a new app called TinyStart. This is from my friend Neilian, so disclosure there. I guess I'm friends with the developer, but she's not paying me anything to do this. She has no idea this video is being made. And basically what she made is an app that is called TinyStart. And TinyStart is an app launcher that is for people who just want a launcher. They don't need a million extensions. They don't need a ton of automations. They just want something that launches apps on their freaking Mac easily, quickly, and at a reasonable price. And so TinyStart is €5. It's a one-time purchase. You get free updates after that. There's no subscriptions, no AI features, none of that stuff. And there's the site here that kind of goes over the things, and you'll notice you scroll far less on this site than you do on any of the other ones. And that's because it does less, but that's kind of by design. So let's bring it up and just see what TinyStart is like. This is going to be a very short video because it's tiny. It doesn't do that much, and again, that is kind of the point. So we invoke it with whatever keyboard shortcut we want. I have Option Space because that's what I've been doing for 20 years for my launcher. So I hit that, and you see something very familiar. It's going to show you, here's things you've launched recently. You can go through them, arrow through them and all that, and open them if you'd like. You can search for Safari. You can search for 1Password. You can search for Claude, and you can actually see that if it has some level of fuzzy search, yeah, I don't know exactly how far it will go. Sort of, yeah. Claude works, but anyway, it works very nicely. It remembers the things that you've launched previously, and it will kind of rank them in that order. It shows a dot next to the open apps. All pretty cool, right? And it just works as you'd expect an app launcher to work. Additionally, let's open Zed, which is my text editor of choice. And if I want to type an emoji here, how would you do that? Well, the system keyboard shortcut is Command Control Spacebar, and hey, that brings up TinyStart as well. So TinyStart has an emoji picker built in. You don't have to use it if you don't want it, but it is there and works pretty nicely. You can arrow through it. Again, it's very quick, much faster than Apple's option here. And of course, you can type in different things to get different emoji, and then hit enter, and they just go in, right? And then you get a list of recent ones you've used, and all of that works very nicely. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can also just copy them to the clipboard with Command-C from here, so that's kind of cool. So I can kind of go here, paste it, and it just works. Let's jump into the app settings so you can get an idea for some of the other stuff that's here. So launch and log in automatically, show the menu bar icon. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that because I don't really need that. So I'm going to go ahead and relaunch and go back to the settings. So we don't need it in the menu bar. Position, you saw it's at the bottom for me. You can just put it in the center if that's what you'd prefer, so that it just comes up in the center like you're used to. I kind of like the bottom. It's kind of a fun little thing. You can drag it around. You can change the size. So there is a large version, which looks like is actually, there we go. needed to reset it to there. That's bigger than I need, so I'll go back to the default size. Very good. You can change the global hotkey. You can reset your launch history. If you ever get like your priorities mixed up, you can reset it there. You can tell it where to index. It has these by default, but you can add more if you'd like. You can launch your shortcuts from here. I don't really use shortcuts, so I only have some random things here, but you can launch these. You can give it specific folders to launch those folders in the Finder very quickly. You can give it links to launch links really quickly. You can choose the search engines to use. I'm not using any at the moment, but you can use Google, for example, and let's do like a search for G, and then Hello World, Swift. And it does a search for Hello World and Swift, right? So that works. The emoji picker, again, you need to give it accessibility permissions like every other emoji picker. You set the hotkey, you can set your skin tone, you can say how many recents you want to show. One thing I would like in here is kind of the frequently used. So sometimes it may not be recently used, but there's a emoji I use a ton, and I'd like that to kind of be the ranking as well. Would love to see that. And then there's just the about page. And again, updates happen for free. If you want to do that, it's going to be right here. It's also in the menu bar app if you want. If we go to the version history, we can see that it has been updated on a pretty regular basis since it launched. The 1.0 was at the end of March, and we've got a bunch of little updates since then. So I think this is a really cool little app. Even if I didn't know Neilion, even if we weren't friends, I would still enjoy this app. I would say the one thing that would make it a full Raycast replacement for me is if it had a clipboard manager built in. Now, I know that this is kind of getting into feature creep, and this is where we get into, oh, well, if it's just going to have all the Raycast features, then why not just get Raycast, or what is the point of this tiny app if it's going to have everything? I will say the three things for me that a launcher does that are essential are launching apps, it is having an emoji picker, and it is having a clipboard manager. So for the time being, I'm using Pastebot, again, as my clipboard manager, which works great, but it was nice to be able to use that with Raycast. So I'm figuring out exactly how to navigate this, but I am using TinyStart. I do like it a lot. And yeah, check it out. Link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.